Floresville City Council regular scheduled meeting for July 13th, 2017. Please rise for our invocation for Mr. Hoffman.
Let us pray, please. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, dear Lord, we are so grateful for this day. We thank you so much for the rain you have blessed us with these last 2 days, and we know that they are truly a gift from you. Tonight, as we come into session with our city council meeting, it's my sincere prayer that we tonight can conduct ourselves in a professional manner and not like a bunch of spoiled children that don't seem to have their way. Ask that we be respectful of each other's opinion, keep us close to you, and forgive me in many ways I've failed you. And all of God's people said, amen.
Amen. Please join me for the pledge of allegiance and display.
The flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
We do have a quorum for tonight's meeting. In attendance, Councilman David Johns, Councilwoman Gloria Cantu, myself, Sissy Gonzalez-Dibble as your mayor, Councilman Jacob Silva, and Councilman Nick Neeson. Thank you so much. At this time, I will allow citizens' comments. Just a reminder, we have 5 minutes for each citizen's comments, and if you would, when you go up to the podium, just state your name. Thank you.
Mayor, Council, I'm Fred Gonzalez. I live in Floresville. Just a couple of things. Mayor, at your 22nd June meeting, while you were talking about your frustrations with the 20 June meeting, you told us you have tried hard to allow fair and ample opportunity for us to present our comments and concerns. I, for one, appreciate your efforts and thank you. I do feel very strongly that ample and unimpeded input is key to effective governance. In Floresville, we have ample opportunity with our general 5-minute citizens comment period and the 1-minute time for input on any and all CNA items as they come up on the agenda. While on the subject of citizens' comments, I would like to make a proposal. It appears we believe that executive session agenda items are standalone items. I think not. I think they're simply CNA items that meet criteria to discuss in executive session before a decision is made. Examples are employee evaluations, consultation with attorney on employee pending litigations, decisions on land deals, etc. All of these actually are consideration and action items, even when there is no action to be taken. Thus, it seems to me that there should be an opportunity for citizens' input before any action is taken or recorded. And here, I'm well aware that part of the executive session is privileged information, and I'm not talking about that. But simply, I think there's always going to be a proposal to do this and so, and an action taken and a decision made. And I think some part of it can be the kind of item that should allow for citizens' comment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, and those in the audience. I would first like to acknowledge my appreciation for the mayor and those that were involved in what you did to honor Sergeant Keith Kurtz. That was amazing and wonderful, so thank you for doing that. Secondly, what transpired on the 22nd directly affected me. I was quite surprised at the increase in rudeness as the meeting went on, and nothing was done. Mayor put her gavel down, nothing happened. And when I was told to sit down and be quiet and better yet leave, we can't have that. And I appreciate your effort to want to fix that. That should happen to no one. And it's sad that it would be supporters of our police department that were behaving in that manner. At any rate, it's unacceptable. It seems as though it's resist, 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 which is something we hear on the political spectrum all the time. And we need to work together to make this city a success, not resist, resist, resist. So I know the video that was on Wilson County News didn't really show the full impact of what happened that evening, but to tell you the truth, I was a little concerned even walking to my car. And some of what was being said was said by a former city councilman who, when he was on city council, would have never tolerated that. So thank you for your efforts to correct it. I appreciate it.
Council, Mayor, my name is George Gonzalez, and I'm here today to ask you all about some problems I have, and the city hasn't addressed them for umpteen years. On May the 16th, 2017, I met with Dino Cantu about some overgrown properties. Drove to the property and showed Dino Cantu. He took pictures and he said he would address the issues. He also told me that his boss, Mindy Riley, told him to only address the properties that people complained the most. I told him that the city council was in the process of passing an ordinance that the city of Floresville would clean the property that were not in compliance and put a lien on the property. He said he did not know. Again, I spoke to Dino Cantu on phone, and he said that the Boy Scouts were looking for lots to clean and mow. He said he would call me, he never did. I called Dino Cantu again on July the 7th, 2017. He said he had already done what he could do, which is nothing. I have been asking for years. Spoke to Cindy Nichols, who is gone. I spoke to Mindy Riley. I spoken to the manager, Mrs. Turner, and again, nothing gets done. I have some notes which I'm going to look for some more, just to show you. Since September the 26th, 2013, spoke to Cindy Nichols on July regarding Jet Malloy, Daniel Rodriguez, Epi Lopez, property on 6th Street. Weeds, rubbish, vehicles. Cindy told me the city had no money to clean these lots. I guessed, and for me to help Jet Malloy clean the property, that I was retired. After that, she said, talk to Monica. She is a code compliance. I have spoken to Monica on several occasions since then and got nowhere. It is now September, almost 3 months. Spoke to her on other properties on 6th Street, and again, nothing has been done. Monica said she could not go on private property, although when a letter is sent, it states, on inspection of the property, it is determined what needs to be done. Also, Monica stated that the owner is out of town. There's nothing that she could do. All you gotta do is go to the tax office. You find out where they live. For example, one of them is Hernandez and one of them is Clark on 6th Street. The ordinance requires owner to take corrective action within 10 days to be notified of such property not in compliance. And if not, they should be fined. Monica said letters have been sent, but nothing has been done. Example, lot on 1613 3rd Street. Someone or owner, after getting a letter, took a box plate and piled everything to the side of the property. No one ever follows through to see if the work was done right. She stated, no help. Nothing else was done. Property on 928 6th Street, owner Daniel Rodriguez, very seldom mows lot. Renter does not either. Monica stated that she was going to try to find Liberty, which is a tenant. You go to the owner, you don't go to the tenant. It's real simple. No, she is gone, and utilities are out, or cut out. Monica further stated that she will try to find owner of mobile home. They live here in town. It's very simple. I told her the owner is responsible for upkeeping of said property. Again, Monica stated that it was sent, but nothing has been done. Mobile home is unoccupied and weeds are 4 foot high. Owner promises but never does anything. For example, the lot next to Judge Peña. Look at that lot. Look at the weeds. They're 7 foot tall. And today they're 7 foot tall. So what does it take for the code compliance for somebody with the city of Floresville to address these problems? That lot belongs to Mr. Corbier. It's for sale now. So again, this is since 2013, and I can go back more. So I mean, what are we going to do? Another issue I have is the cars. All these abandoned cars. The ordinance says if they don't have current plates, current stickers, they need to be gone. But yet there's cars everywhere, nobody addresses them. Another issue, when a person gets a citation, for example, my neighbor has got about 4 or 5 citations. Nothing has ever been done. Why? I would like to know why. I mean, and that's been since March. Here we are, July. Who's dropping the ball? I mean, what kind of people do we have working for the city? That's what I'd like to know. What does it take to clean these lots up that I've been asking for tons of years?
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. You're right at 5 minutes. Thank you.
Okay.
Any other citizens' comments at this time? If not, we're moving on to item 1A, which is old business, consideration and action to approve the meeting minutes of the special council meeting on June the 20th. Council, you have those in your packets. Hopefully you've had a chance to look them over. I'll give you just a couple minutes to look them over once more before I entertain a motion.
Madam Mayor, I move to approve the minutes of the special council meeting on June 20th.
I have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Cantu to approve the minutes of June the 20th. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Councilman Mason. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. 4-0. Moving on to item 1B, consideration action to approve the minute meetings of the regular council meeting on June the 22nd, 2017. Again, you have your minutes in front of you. I'll give you a moment or two to look them over.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes on June 22nd.
I have a motion on the floor by Councilman Nissen to approve the minutes of the regular meeting on June the 22nd, 2017. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Councilwoman Cantu. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 4-0. Thank you. Moving on to item 2A, non-development development annexation agreements timeline with our city attorney.
Thank you, Mayor. City Council, I believe that when this came up at the hearing, Councilman Silva had asked us to look into the timeline on here and what can be done. So I did some research on the statutes in conference with the consultant, Chris Stewart, and there is no hard and fast deadline at the moment for the statute. They need to be in place by the time the annexation occurs and moves forward. The reason why it was put in place for August is because they wanted to know who we would need to be providing services to when the service plans were drafted. Well, he's done the service plans with the way they are, and so it's kind of a moot point to have these done before the service plans now. So a letter was sent to all the ag-exempt property owners dated July 7th by the consultant's office, apprising them that there'll be 2 meetings, one on July 26th at 5:30 and one on August 1st at 5:30, both here at the event center. Those are general informational meetings that everybody that got one of these letters is welcome to attend, ask any questions, anything like that. And also, they're welcome to establish individual meetings, either with city staff or a lot of them have attorneys. They can also contact us and we'll all work on scheduling to answer any of the legal questions regarding the annexation. And those would be individualized meetings on there. So we just wanted to give the council a heads up, the citizens a heads up if there were anybody that had any questions on that, and basically let everybody know that August 1st deadline is all.
Any questions or comments? Mr. Hurd? Thank you very much for your information. Moving on to item 2B, code enforcement updates. Our Community Development Director, Mindy Riley.
Mayor, Council. Tonight I have the update on our code compliance. I gave an update several months ago on our first 50 letters, letter campaign that went out. We had pictures. We had 2 that went to citation. And so now we're on our second list of 50 addresses that are not compliant. We have our code compliance officer, Dino Cantu, out taking pictures, making sure that these addresses are indeed not in compliance before we send out the letters. I've since taken a code compliance class and been certified. And I put on each by your chair samples of some brochures, some information bulletins, some door hangers that we are going to print for the city of Floresville to educate and inform citizens on what our ordinances state and what we require. So we feel that if we have these brochures readily available for anybody that wants them, we'll have them at City Hall. We'll give them out to the city manager. Our code compliance guy will carry them in his vehicle, hand them out. And we will try to educate and inform the citizens as much as we can, so they are aware when they are in violation of our ordinances and what is required to come into compliance. We are starting our second campaign, letter campaign. We have 50 addresses that the police department supplied to us back in February, and I think you have that list as well.
This is the second time we've asked for this letter, and this is the second time you bring it to us at this meeting. We don't have time to go look at this stuff now, but you want to wait for 2 hours. Why can't you get this in the brochure like everybody else does? It's not that hard to make up. I emailed Mrs. Turner 5 days ago about some of this stuff, and we get it the night of the meeting.
I've sent to the city secretary, email the charter.
I think it missed the deadline, to get it into your packets and make it.
Okay, so why can't you make the deadline? The second time we have, hasn't made this deadline.
Well, I apologize, I'll make sure that we make the deadline going forward. As I said, we're trying to focus on the police complaints we received first. That was the direction of the council, was to make sure that we had addressed those complaints going forward. And if I could address gentleman's concern is that one of the things we just passed recently is the weed lots. So we're meeting with the attorney so that we can go to procedure so that we can properly deem those properties that are occupied and or owned. So as we said, we're starting from scratch trying to put this together. Again, I will apologize for not having to take the time in that. What we can do is put on the agenda for next week if you like, and then we can appear to say if you have any questions or comments at that time.
Yeah, do we get some dates put on this when the citation was issued before we can monitor that?
Well, from my understanding, there's just 2 that were actually done. Most people came into compliance or making some kind of solid thing because there is usually has been a lack of maintenance of some of their properties. So we have tried to give them some time, but ultimately, we'll actually issue tickets.
That's correct.
There were only 2 that actually issued them before the courts. One of them, the judge made a decision and dismissed it. The other one is a pending one that we haven't put into collections. There were only 2 that were actually issued citations, and everybody else came into compliance in some form of fashion. Somebody's cutting them, it's going forward, we can lose more time. But the 2 focuses supposed to be finished of these, we're going forward and focusing on weed lots, vacant and not. We have to come up with some type of time frame of how we're going to lien the properties, because now that you all have passed the ordinance to allow city staff to cut, how we're going to charge a property to do that into lien. And also, we just following Mindy's class, we're going to have a special thing so that we can actually look up cars to see if they're in compliance with the state, so that we can issue cars for abandoned vehicles as well.
Okay, is this one on 4th Street, the one that said he was gonna work on the plumbing, on the mobile home, but you found the skirting?
We have mobile home skirting on our list as high priority.
Well, you already cited that,
Yes,
and nothing's been done.
they were given 30 days to skirting.
Okay, it's over 30 days.
Yes. And so Dino Cantu will be taking pictures and we will send them a sign, or have them signed. That's
Now,
correct.
is the police you're working on, is Dino writing any of these?
He does not write citations.
He's writing the ticket, so once he actually complies, we go through our letter writing campaign, and we issue it to the chief and the officer
have to be able to give the first notice, the second notice, and the third. And the reason why we don't want to start off just with the notice, because some people were a little afraid and taking it back. I didn't know all these rules are coming up, that existed before. That's why maybe it's recommended that we have these hand-up pamphlets and actually door knockers. So one of the samples that she should have should be a sample of a door knocker. It says, sorry we missed you, we just want to let you know.
That's what Dino's gonna pass out.
That is correct.
And a pamphlet, say, here it is. Because I did get several calls, some from councilmen and others, in the public, well, why is he taking pictures, what's he doing on my property, he's peeking in my backyard. And so we wanted to come up with these door hangers as well as a pamphlet so that we can do that. And following these certification that you received just recently, we're going to be able to start implementing that. So we want to let people know and then send out those letters to come out and threaten tickets and things like that. So we want to see the samples going forward. I can put this on the agenda again and think we can go to that so that if you have a chance to review the information, then she can answer the questions that you may have at that time.
And also to add, with Dino Cantu, we have come up with a city grid, parts of the city that he will be driving, concentrating on one area at a time, unless it's complaint driven, and he will give me a weekly update on a summary on what the area that he's driven and what his property have complaints.
Yeah.
That may not be on our list.
I asked police chief, I don't know how long, about setting up the city grid for the police department.
I'm not working with them on that, but I am working with
We don't want to
Crimes.
invent two or three because the police know exactly areas.
We can work with them on that and coordinate the two.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Just to let our citizen know who spoke earlier, there is a 6th Street address on here, at least one that I see. So they are going up and down that road from what I can tell.
Yes, and they will get a letter.
So hopefully we can get some more of those issues taken care of as well.
And some of those property owners, I know that one that he spoke of, the property owner is in the nursing home, and we are trying to locate family to take care of our lot.
Any other questions from Ms. Riley? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 2C, proposed budget workshop. All right, here comes the fun. So, we've been able to confirm some meeting dates and times with the auditor. The mayor did ask me to come up with the rest of the schedule. My original was to wait till August, but I think she was correct that we need to start it in July. And if you look at the first thing that we have is Wednesday, July 19th, audit committee meeting. And I believe the audit committee is comprised of the mayor, Councilman Silva, Mayor Pro Tem, and Councilman Lisa. This will be the follow-up to the meeting that we had before. This meeting is at 6 o'clock here at the event center. That starts the process for the budget. And I try to confirm it for Tuesday so we can look all nice and have a pattern, but the alternate not available on that day. Then we move on to the 26th, a financial overview by Mr. Crioga, our financial advisor from Floresville. I believe he spoke to the council when you all first were elected back in January. He gave a financial overview, and he'll be giving a financial overview. I know you're interested in where our debt is, and how our debt service is going, and all those kind of things. Richard will be talking to you about that. Our tax note 2015 and 2016 will also be discussed at that time. And then we move on to August 1st. And if you notice going down, it looks like every Tuesday and Thursday in the month of August we'll be having meetings. And so we're going to be setting it up. I tried to put a topic by date. I have been able to confirm for people to make presentations at those dates. And so, for example, the highlighted ones are the most important ones that we must have.
If you look at August 10th was our normal city council meeting. At the beginning of the meeting, we'll have a public hearing on the tax rate. It is mandatory that we have a quorum, and so we don't have to have a quorum. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Attorney, we don't have to have a quorum at a workshop because we're just discussing openly, everybody in the public is invited. But at the public hearing, we must have a quorum, and that's why we're putting them at the beginning of city council meetings. We're required to have 2 public hearings on the tax rate, 1 public hearing on the budget. The budget is online. The city manager's proposed budget is online. So these are, I try to group like things together, and we will have that going forward.
Another question, why couldn't we get this earlier? That could have been.
Because they needed to confirm that people could meet when they needed to be able to meet. Your predecessors in the former council did not just say they wanted dates. They want to know what the topic and the subjects of those meeting dates. And so I was trying to get confirmation as to it, but it was not until last week that I was able to confirm, confirm the auditor rules. That starts everything.
Okay, are we going to be able to get the copy of the audit before the night of the meeting?
He has not given me anything at all. Actually, I'm meeting with him at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Monica was able to confirm a meeting with him at 5. So I don't have anything, so I can't get it to you. I can ask him if he can send me something, but I think they want to present the numbers that night because he has not shared anything with us so far. Not even preliminary numbers.
And I will say, Councilman, audit committee can be, a second audit committee meeting can be done, so like a week after that, because the July 27th will be our next city council meeting, and that'll be when the audit committee presents the audit to the city council. So
You might plan on doing, because getting the book and trying to go over all them numbers in one night.
Well, at that point, if you like, it's going to have to really notice it. It's a committee of, it's a review committee. We can schedule it at that time if you'd like to schedule it and come back and if you have any questions. It's just that he just confirmed the date. I don't have any numbers to give you, but they really don't want to give out the numbers until they're able to explain.
Okay. Do you have a problem with having another meeting after this where we can go over the numbers?
No, I think we need it. There is a week in between because, as the attorney alluded to,
We still need to post, correct?
yes, we need to vote.
yeah, I recommend posting. It's not a quorum because it's only the 3 of you. For our rules, that's not a quorum, but just in case another council member wants to come because we're talking about the budget and things, I recommend always posting for the audit committee meetings.
So we will be prepared for a second meeting on our committee meeting.
And you can determine that date when you meet with the auditors because it's not just that, you have to schedule their time as well for them to come back and answer any questions.
Chris, can all of us have copies of this?
You can attend the meeting if you like, Councilman, yes.
And all the council members will get copies. Just the formal presentation will be at the July 27th meeting when the city formally accepts the audit by consideration and action item.
Would that be on the meeting on the 19th or the meeting on the 20th?
No, it wouldn't be on
Because
the
the
night.
committee has to.
And the committee has to present to the,
And it's going to be July the 27th?
that's a regular council meeting, so I assume that's when it would be on.
Yes, it's scheduled to be on the agenda for that date.
Any other comments or questions from Mrs. Turner on the budget workshop dates and times, all 6 o'clock here at the event center?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Moving on to new business, item 3A, consideration action to enter into an election agreement with Wilson County to conduct a joint election. We have our election administrator with us.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Okay, now the county has an election administrator, they can do our elections. So this is just an agreement with them to run our elections. They will take care of early voting, they will take care of, I still do all the posting, I still hand out the applications, and people will still turn in the applications to me. They will handle early voting, and they will handle all the election day procedures and have at all the locations, the county locations. Because I know last year there was confusion